The low bar, I don't get murdered. High bar, I make a friend. Tonight I'm doing something different. I'm going on a Timeleft dinner. One of my friends recommended it to me. She moved to a new city. Essentially, it's this app and you sign up, you answer a couple questions, like where you live, how much you're willing to spend on dinner, like what do you like to do. You pick a date and it pairs you in a group to go to dinner. So today, this morning at 8 a.m., it gave me the location and the time. And all I know as of right now is we all speak English and that like 85% of us are American, there's one Canadian, and it gives us our like industry split for what we do for work. I think there's supposed to be groups of 5, and I think that's how the percentage splitting out would make sense, that it's 5 of us. But we're all gonna go like sit down and go to dinner with like a whole bunch of strangers tonight. I'm nervous. I don't really consider myself like super outgoing, or like, this is very out of my comfort zone. But we gotta try new things, right? Like worst case, it's just a dinner. Like we all go, we pay for our own dinner, and we chat. The restaurant's close to me, so I'm planning on walking, assuming I can get out of the house in time. But I'm really curious how this goes. There's a game, like I think a Q&A or like questions in the app that like once we get there, we'll unlock, like it unlocks all these things to keep the conversation going, and so it's not like completely awkward. The low bar, I don't get murdered. I make it home safely. High bar, I make a friend. I think it'd be really nice. Like I'm trying to figure out like how to meet people in the city, so I think this could be I'm actually not that optimistic that this is gonna be how I meet people, but I think it's all about momentum, and the fact that I'm willing to go do this is good momentum. It's gonna make a run club seem really, really easy if I wanna go another day. I'm optimistic about run clubs. I'm training for a marathon and I just like can't quite wrap my head around marathon training and run club, because I want to run my way right now, not like in a run club. So run club might be a couple weeks once this marathon's done. Anyway, I'm gonna keep getting ready. I went this week on Wednesday and it was a really good time. Morning of 8 a.m. the app releases your restaurant reservation, so they tell you where you're gonna go and what time to be there, and then they give you instructions on how to go about it. I walked into the restaurant. I asked for Timeleft table 1 because there's multiple tables of Timeleft people potentially at a restaurant, and they sit you down with your group. So I sat down. I was the second person there, and there was one other girl there when I got there. We introduced ourselves. She was kind, and then people very quickly filled in the rest of the table as they arrived. I got there like just a few minutes after our reservation, and I'd say the table was full by, 5-10 after. We were all very prompt. And so we just started like friendly introductions, introduced ourselves. There ended up being 7 of us total, 4 girls, 3 guys. Everyone was in about a 3-year age gap. No one was married, everyone was single, no one had kids. Which I thought was cool. Like, I don't think I've sat down at a table with a group of people in like the exact same life spot in a long time. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and that just gives, I think, all of us a better shot of hitting it off, right? Like, if you're in a similar spot, like, odds are you're more likely to be friends. Not saying that you can't be friends. A lot of my friends are in very different stages of life than I am, but I think that just increases the odds. So give job industry. So one of the first things we did was like went around the table and started guessing like what industry people worked in, which was a good way to get to know each other and just like broke the ice. The app had a game in it, which is just a bunch of questions that we could answer to keep the conversation going, which was nice. So if like you had a group that had a lull, like you could just go back to the questions, and it always was a good starting point or like a return point to keep the conversation going. We talked through a few of them, and then the conversation just naturally started going, and we like left. I think we made it through 3 or 4 at the table before we just like had a conversation and got to know each other. I was curious how it would work with like ordering and everything. The restaurant we went to was very family style preferred, just like the way the menu was set up. There was like big meat entrees and then like a bunch of pasta dishes. So we asked if everyone was okay with this, but like we opted to do family style, which was nice and just like a good way to like share. And that was like another great conversation point of, oh, did you try this pasta? Did you try this vegetable? Yeah, I really liked it. Or like, oh no, I don't eat like this or that. So that like kept it interesting. I would say overall like a good experience. So I said there were 7 of us. 2 I think had been in LA for a couple years, and the rest of us were new to LA in the last 6 or 7 months. So everyone was looking for friends, which was great. I think my main takeaway is there are so many ways to be getting involved. We were all sharing like, oh, I like to go to this pickleball meetup, or I like going to the like this walk group, or I'm on this newsletter that does events every month. And it was really good momentum for me that I need to be getting more involved, and I have no excuse to not be getting involved. I just need to find the right things and sign up for the right newsletters and go and put myself out there more. So I really appreciated that piece of it. I don't know if like I found my best friend in there in LA, to be honest, but like everyone was super kind. Like we exchanged numbers at the end, and like if I ever ran into any of them, like I think it would be a positive experience and no harm, no foul. 2 of the girls really hit it off. Like they'll be best friends for sure. Like if they just hit it off, like they had a lot in common of like they both just moved from the same spot and did similar things at work and same stage in life. So it's great for them to like watch them hit it off. Go through dinner. We split the check 7 ways, very kind waiter. And then it unlocks a nightcap or like a after dinner drink bar where all the Timeleft tables in the area all meet up together. So ours was just a couple blocks away, so we all walked, and it was nice to be able to mingle in like a different format, right? Because we were at a long like rectangular table, which I think was a little tough for conversation. It was a loud restaurant, so like I was on one end of it and I was like having a hard time. Like we kind of split into two groups of conversation. So going to the bar after let us mingle with everyone, and then we mingled with some of the other Timeleft groups. We did get put into a bar that like actively had trivia going on, which wasn't great because it was packed and loud, and there wasn't anywhere to sit. So like that, I would say like not as good, but overall like the setup's really cool and it was a good experience to just like get me out there. Like I said before, like good momentum. Yeah, I would consider doing it again for sure. I think I'm just curious like how it varies. I would assume like each group is very different because like the restaurant you go to, the group of people you get mixed with, just like a totally different experience every time. So I would definitely consider going again, just like one of them anyways. I'm trying to meet people and get connected and build my circle. But yeah, all in all, good experience, I would say. I am actually going to play pickleball with one of the people tonight. I'm not interested like romantically necessarily. I hope he's on the same page. But